Hello and welcome to the Guitar School Network. My name is Marc Seal and this is the Ultimate Guitar Show. Alright, I've planned out a pretty happening show for you guys today. In All About Technique, I'm going to actually teach you how to do some finger picking with your right hand, but not traditional classical finger picking, more of kind of a groove finger picking with chords. So we're going to play around with that. And then in the mailbag, we had one of our female viewers write in, and so we're going to be learning a little Jenny on the Block, if you will. I got a cool little melody for you from that tune. And then we're going to apply what we learned in the finger picking section of All About Technique into our riff of the week, where we're going to learn a little bit of Norah Jones's Don't Know Why. Really cool tune, so we should have some fun with that. And for sound advice, I'm going to give you kind of a cool little groove jazz tone, if you will, and we'll use that for all of today's exercises. So sit back and enjoy the Ultimate Guitar Show. All About Technique. What we're going to do with All About Technique, like we talked about, is we're going to be using our right hand finger picking over chords. So basically the way I do this, and I call this kind of more groove picking, we're going to take our thumb and make it responsible for our bass notes. Now our bass notes are typically going to be on the 6th string or the 5th string, okay? And our first finger is going to be responsible for the 4th string, second finger for the 3rd string, and third finger for the 2nd string, as you can see here. Now, the pattern that we're going to use, and we're going to practice with regular open chords, and then we'll apply it to the Norah Jones tune later, is we're going to basically hit the bass note with our thumb. Say, for example, let's do a C major chord. We'll hit the bass note with our thumb. Then we're going to hit strings 4, 3, and 2 simultaneously by pulling our fingers up. Now, your fingers should start out in the groove of the strings and then pull up. So it sounds like this. Bass note, which in the case of the C major is on the 5th string. Then strings 4, 3, and 2 simultaneously. Then what I do for a little percussive effect is I'll take my hands, my thumb, my fingers 1, 2, and 3, and kind of slap them down onto the strings in the ready position where they would be for the next part. In that case, kind of want them to fall into the grooves like this. So let's take our C major chord and let's do that pattern 4 times. I'll do it slow. I'll demonstrate it for you once, and then we'll do it together. It's like this. Now let's try a chord with a 6th string root note, like a G major. So we'll go to our G, and what we'll do is now our thumb's going to move to the 6th string and use that bass note. And then our fingers 1, 2, and 3 are still going to hit strings 4, 3, and 2. Same pattern. All right, let's try this. Let's do our C major twice and then to our G major twice. We'll just go back and forth, and that should help our thumb to get used to switching between strings 5 and 6, and it'll also get us used to having our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers fall back into place on strings 4, 3, and 2, like this. Now you can practice that chord progression with pretty much any chords that you want, any of the open chords you know. And then again, later in the show, I'm going to show you some cool kind of jazzer chords that we'll use for the Norah Jones tune. But let's take one quick chord progression and see how this would apply. If we were going to do a 4th string chord real quick as a side note, like a D major, then our thumb would be responsible for the D major, the 4th string open, and then fingers 1, 2, and 3 would move up to strings 3, 2, and 1. So that would be the exception. If we have a 4th string root note chord, meaning our root note for the chord is on the 4th string, our thumb is still responsible for the bass note, the root note, and then fingers 1, 2, and 3 would move up to the higher strings, 3, 2, and 1. But whenever our bass note's on strings 5 or 6, we're going to stay with the middle strings 4, 3, and 2. All right, let's do this chord progression. Let's do an A minor to a C major to a G major to a D major and see what it would look like. And again, we'll do it one time on each, one rhythm pattern on each chord. Sounds like this. And one of the ways you can practice this would be to try and come up with as many different chord progressions as possible with root notes on strings 6, 5, and 4, and get used to getting that thumb switching around. And then worry about the riff of the week, which will be later on in the show. So enjoy it. Hope you guys had fun with that. And let's move on to our sound advice.